Hi there, welcome to iTutors. In this video, we will learn how to work out surface area of 3D or solid shapes. Right, to work out the surface area of solid shapes, we think of the nets, work out the area of each face and add it up. Right, let's start from question number 1. It says the diagram shows a cube of dimensions 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. Work out the total surface area of the cube. First of all, we need to establish how many faces the shape has. As we know that all of the cubes and cuboids have got 6 faces. And in case of cubes, all of the faces are identical. So if I want to work out what's the area of each of the faces, each of its faces, so I know that this is 3 centimeters and its height is also 3 centimeters. So basically, its area is 3 times 3. This is 3 centimeters and this is also 3 centimeters. So basically, it's 9 centimeters squared. Even this one is 9 centimeters squared. Even this one is 9 centimeters squared. In short, all of the faces are 9 centimeters squared. So what we will do is we'll do 9 centimeters squared times by 6. That will be 54 centimeters squared. Let's move to question number 2. It says the diagram shows a cube of dimensions 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Work out the total surface area. Again, it will be the same practice as we know that this length here is 5 centimeters and even height is 5. And it's a cube. So basically, I need to work out the area of one face. So 5 times 5 will be 25 centimeters squared. And all of the faces are identical, and in case of cubes and cuboids, there are 6 faces. So what we'll do is we'll just multiply 25 by 6, and that will be 150 centimeters squared. Let's move to the next question. It says the diagram shows a cuboid. Work out the total surface area of the cuboid. Right, so in case of cuboid, it will be a little bit more complicated than cubes because all of the faces are not identical. Let's start working out the surface area of the shape. And I can see that the front face is 10 centimeters long and 6 centimeters high. So 10 times 6 will be, because it's a rectangle, and in case of rectangle, we do base times height or length times width. So 10 times 6 will be 60 centimeters squared. And moving to this face here, but there is another face as well, which is in the back there. That will also be 60 centimeters. Right, so moving to the face on the right, I know that this is 4 centimeters wide. And what's the height of this face? This must be the same as this height. So 4 times 6 would be 24. So this is 24 centimeters squared. And there's another face as well, which is exactly the same, which is there on the left. That will also be 24 centimeters squared. Right, now moving to the face on the top, I know that this is 10 centimeters long. We have to be careful because many people, by mistake, they can think that this is 6. This is not 6 long. This is same as this one here, and this is same as this, which means this length, which means that this is 4. 4 times the 10. It will be 40 centimeters squared. But there is another face as well in the base of the shape, which means at the bottom as well, that face will also have an area of 40 centimeters squared. In short, I know that like each of the 3 faces, which I can see on the cube at the moment, basically they have another face on the opposite end. So what I will do is I will just add 40 at 40 is 80, add like 80 at 60 at 60 is 120, and 24 and 24 gives me 48. I add all of these up. So the total surface area of the shape is 248 centimeters squared. Let's move to question number 5. It says, work out the surface area of the triangular prism. State the units with your answer. Right. So again, I need to see how many faces the shape has. I can see that there's a triangle in the front, and there's an another triangle in the back. So I'm pretty sure that both of these triangles are exactly the same size. I can see one rectangle in the base, and then I can see a slant face. Basically, I'm talking about this one here. So this one, this face here. There is this face here, slant face, and there is one in the back. One in the back, I mean this one here. Right, so let's start from the triangles. Triangles are going to be base is 3, height is 4, 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the area of the triangle is 6 meters squared. So the area of this triangle here will also be 6 meters squared. Moving to the rectangle in the base. This one here, I know that this is 3 centimeters wide, 6 centimeters long. 3 times 6 is going to be 18 meters squared. Right, then going to the slant face, which I've actually retraced with my lines, red lines. So this is, I know that this is 6 long and 5 up, the slant height. Okay, so 6 times 5 will be 30 meters squared. And there's one more face whose area we need to work out, and that is, it's the height of that face is 4. And how long is this line? Many people can make mistake by saying 5 or something else, but this must be the same as this one here. So that's 6. 6 times 4 will be 24. Right, so what we need to do is we need to add all of the areas up, areas of all of the faces. 24, add 30, add 18, and I also know that the area of the two triangles is 6 meters squared each. So 6 at 6 is 12. And if I add all of these up, 4 at 8 is 12, 12 at 2 is 14. I'd write 4 and 1 is carried. I will then add 2 at 3 is 5, 5 and 1 is 6, 6 and 1 is 7, 7 and 1 will be 8. So 84 meters squared. Let's move to the next question. It says the surface area of the cube is 216 centimeters squared. What is its side length? In case of a cube, all faces are identical and all the length are the same. So that's why to work out the area of one face, it will be x times x, which is x squared. So basically there are 6 faces, so that's why the total surface area will be 6x squared, and that is equal to 216. I can divide both sides by 6. I will get 36, and if I square root both sides, square rooting both sides, I will get x equals 6 centimeters. And let's move to the next question. It says surface area of cuboid is 94 centimeters squared. Work out the length of its missing side. Right. So let's start working out the area of each face. The area of the front face would be 5 times x, which means 5x centimeters squared. The area of this face will be 4, base is 4 and height is x, so 4 times x will be 4x centimeters squared. And the area of the top face will be 5 times 4, 20 centimeters squared. But there is another area in the base at the bottom of the shape, which is also 20 centimeters squared. There is area in the, like opposite to the front face in the back, that will also be 5x centimeters squared. And there will be a face on the left as well, which will be 4x centimeters squared. Right, so basically all of the 3 faces which we can see on the cuboid, we can actually double all of them and add them up. So what will be double 4x will be 8x, and double 20 will be 40, and double 5x will be 10x. And if I add all of these 3 faces up, I will get basically 18x plus 40. What I need to do is I will I will set this equation up. I will write 18x plus 40, and that equals 94. What I will do is I will take away 40 from either side of the equation. That will give me 18x equals 54. And if I divide both sides by 18, I will get x equals 3 centimeters. Let's move to the next question. It says the surface area of the triangular prism is 360 centimeters squared. Work out the length of its missing side. Right, so we'll start working out the areas of each face, starting from this triangle here. Its base is x and height is 12. So to work out the area of this face, we'll do base times height divided by 2, so x times by 12, 12x divided by 2, so this face will be 6x meters squared. So even this triangle here will also be 6x meters squared. Area of the rectangle with a slant face, that will be 13 times by 10, so 130 meters squared. Area of the rectangle in the base will be x times by 10, so 10x. And area of the rectangle in the back will be, this is 12 high and 10 wide, so 12 times 10 will be 120 meters squared. So if I add all of these faces up, so I can see that two numbers there, so 120 and 130 will become 250. And if I add all of the terms with x, so that will be 10 add 6 will be, which will be 22. So 22x plus 250. Here we can form an equation because we know that the total surface area is equal to 360. I can take away 250 from both sides. Taking away 250 from both sides will give me 22x equals 110. And if I divide both sides by 22, I will get x equals 5. So the length of x is 5 meters. All right, moving to the next question. Here's a cuboid, and we've been told that its surface area is 208 meters squared. We need to form a quadratic equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And so we start working out the area of each face. Front face, height is 6 and length is 2x. 6 times 2x would be 12x meters squared. Moving to the right face, it's x meters wide and its height is the same as the front face, so 6 times x will be 6x meters squared. Moving to the top face, that is 2x long and x wide. 2x times by x will be 2x squared meters squared. And as we have learned from the previous questions, that in case of cuboids, the three faces, which we can say, we need to just double their values and we'll get the total surface area. So double of 2x squared will be 4x squared. Double of 12x will be 24x, because there's a face in the back as well. Like in the case of the top face, there's a face in the bottom, which is also 2x, 24x. So moving to the right and left faces, there are 6 each, so 6 at 6 would be 12x. And we know that all of this is equal to 208. So there is no other x squared term, so 4x squared stays as it is, and 24 add 12x will become 36x. And if I take away 208 from both sides, I'll take away 208 equals 0. because we needed to bring it into the required form. Right, so now I can divide the whole thing by 4. Dividing the whole thing by 4 will give me x squared plus 9x minus, dividing this by 208 by 4 will give me 52. That equals 0. So this is our answer, and we can see that this equation is actually in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, because first term is x squared, second term is x, and third term is a constant. So I'm going to write down the answer as x squared plus 9x minus 52, and that equals 0. Moving to part B of the question, it says find the length of the cuboid. Right, to work out the length of the cuboid, we need to actually solve this quadratic equation, and we can actually factorize this equation into 2 brackets, and writing x there, and then think of 2 numbers that multiply to minus 52 and add up to 9. And I can think of those numbers as 13, positive 13, and take away 4. So I can solve this equation by working out the values of x. So 2 values of x which I'll get are minus x equals minus 13 meters, or x equals 4 meters. One value will have to be rejected because lengths are never negative, so that's why this value is rejected. And my final answer will be 4. So x is 4.